I might have a new favorite game. Maybe. The first one was still so good. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. Yeah, I know this is a bit different. I don't think I've ever done a video game review before on my channel. It's only ever a movie or TV. I have played two video games at this point in time on the channel though. So I live streamed Marvel's Avengers back in the day and Marvel Spider-Man 2. So if you are interested in my first reaction, you can actually go check out. I did stream the entire story and some free play stuff, not all free play stuff. But yeah, so now I kind of wanted to give a review, giving some more thoughts about the game that I maybe didn't mention in those streams, or if you don't feel like watching, 14 hour and a half long streams. I don't think they're actually that. Not all of them are that long. Some of them are 30 minutes, some of them are an hour, some of them are an hour and a half. But so that's a lot of time to watch if you want my full thoughts on the game. So I thought I'd put as much as I can remember to in a review. So, like I said, as much as I can remember to. So there's a very good chance that there's some things I would like to talk about that I forget about. So, who knows, maybe I'll even make more videos about that. I mean, there's some other video ideas I have, but we'll get to that eventually. So now, let's just get into the review, first video game review. So let's start off with the story stuff. Okay, so first off, the story I thought was amazing. Maybe even spectacular. So I don't even know where to start. Let's start off with Peter Parker, his story and his character arc. I thought in this game was really good. I really liked how they did continue his story from the first game. I think they did the symbiote story surprisingly really well. Especially because that's one thing I was nervous about. It's like the symbiote they could definitely mess up, but they didn't. They did a great job with the symbiote story. I love how they treated it like a kind of like a drug addiction with the symbiote, and I think they just handled it so well. And it might be it's one of the best symbiote stories I think we have gotten. They just did such a phenomenal job with it. And that's just Peter's story. And first of all, Yuri Lowenthal, phenomenal as portraying both versions of this Spider-Man. But speaking of Spider-Man, there are two Spider-Men. So let's talk about the other one, because his story was also incredible, in my personal opinion. So I know there's a couple people who have said that, like, oh, Miles doesn't have much to do in this game, blah blah blah. He has such a short time, and I think that's good. They did a good job with his character. First of all, his story and character arc was amazing. It was seriously one of the best parts of the game was Miles' story. And I think the fact that it was on the shorter side and didn't need as much time as Peter's story, I think actually worked to its advantage, because they didn't make his story didn't feel like drawn out that way it could fill the whole game length, but nor did it feel rushed like it was just a second thought. It felt like they knew what they were doing, and it was implemented into the story in a way that lets everything breathe, because of the fact that there really is a lot going on in this story. You have Peter getting the symbiote and battling with his addiction to it. You have Miles trying to let go of his anger, hate, and his want for revenge on Martin Lee. You have Kraven who wants to find his last great hunt. You have Venom who wants to take, spoilers by the way, slight spoilers. You have Venom who wants to take over the world, heal the world with the symbiote. You have MJ struggling to find a front page story. I mean, you have Harry coming back from his air quote vacation, supposedly better. Like, there's so much going on in this game, and yet somehow Insomniac woves it all together in a phenomenal way, so it doesn't feel like 7 different stories going on in one game. It feels like one big story that is all connected. So like that, and I think Miles does have a good role to play in this game. Also, despite what some people may say, I personally still view this game as a Peter Parker sequel, because I know everybody's thoughts on this may be different. Because I know Brian Intihart, the creative director, I think he even said that he views it as Spider-Man as Spider-Man, Miles Morales as Spider-Man 2, and then this game as Spider-Man 3. I don't view it that way. He also said, like, Spider-Man and Miles Morales were the Iron Man, and then this game is the Civil War. I disagree. Marvel Spider-Man is Spider-Man 1. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is Spider-Man Miles Morales 1. This game is Spider-Man Peter Parker 2, and hopefully we get a Spider-Man Miles Morales 2. But that's how I view it. So instead of viewing it like how he views it, where they're both Iron Man, and this game is Civil War, I view it as Marvel Spider-Man was Iron Man, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales was Captain America, First Avenger, and then this game is Civil War. So, you know, that's just how I view it. So I was okay with him, Miles having a smaller role, especially because, who knows, maybe he'll get a bigger role in his own sequel, which I'd be okay with. Speaking of stories, I've already mentioned Kraven the Hunter. He is such a cool villain in this game, and this is my personal favorite version of Kraven. Personally. Now, he's done really well in the comics. But like, I prefer this version of Kraven over some of the stuff we've seen in TV shows. I think I prefer this version over the comic books, possibly even. And I mean, come on, Aaron Taylor Johnson is a good actor and all, but do we really think Sony's gonna do that good of a job with the Kraven movie? I mean, who knows? It could be a phenomenal film, but shoot, it might be like the Venom movies where they're a fun time, just not the best version of the character. But I mean, there's no way that version of Venom beats this version. This is the best version of Kraven, in my personal opinion. And speaking of Venom, we already covered him a little bit. I thought he was done so well. Tony Todd was the perfect choice to be Venom's voice. He is so menacing. It is awesome. Something I wanted from this game. I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Venom films are fun. Venom being an anti-hero can be fun. Venom cracking jokes can be fun. But first and foremost, Venom is a villain. And he is a scary villain. And they did that so well, where he was scary, he was menacing, he was a force to be reckoned with, and I thought they did such a good job. And Tony Todd's voice was just perfect for Venom. How do I feel about the fact that Harry was Venom? So, I know a lot of people are like, it should be Eddie Brock, and I love Eddie Brock as Venom, but I do think they did a pretty good job with having Harry Osborn be Venom. I think that they did a good job with the storyline. They even made me like Harry a lot, so that way, well, even though I knew, I mean, I guess I technically didn't know, I just highly assumed that he was going to be Venom. They did a good job making me be like, oh man, now I don't want Harry to be Venom, because I like him so much. I mean, they did the same thing, but they also did a good job, because like, Symbiote Spidey, they did a good job making me constantly guess, like, is Peter going to be Venom? Because of how well they did it, but yeah. So, yeah, I think they did. I think they did a great job with Venom. I also want to talk about MJ too, since we're talking about these characters. First of all, the MJ missions in this game are way better than they were in the first game. I'm not someone who hated them in the first game. They weren't my favorite part of the game. I didn't hate them like some people. Personally, liked two of the missions. I liked the one in Grand Central Station when we got to tell Spider-Man who to take down. And I also like the very last level where we're exploring Norman's apartment and we get a taser gun. And they made these levels so much cooler because she keeps the taser gun. She gets a bunch of other upgrades, which is cool. And the levels actually feel action-packed and high-paced and fun. And some of them outright feel like sequences from horror games, which I thought was actually really cool. Especially like the part where she's running from the symbiote Spidey. Spoilers again. I just thought was done really well. I thought that was super cool. Also, something I did want to mention, continuing with some spoiler thoughts, but this is a half spoiler review, kind of, sort of, was I'm actually surprised, even though part of me kind of saw it coming, but also part of me kind of doubted it, but they surprisingly did. They actually had Kraven, to prove how menacing he was, and he was menacing this game, they had him kill off other Spidey villains, which was just crazy. They had him, if I'm remembering correctly, they had him kill off Scorpion, which we actually saw on camera. We saw him kill off Vulture, Shocker, and Electro. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they actually did that. That was crazy. I think it's kind of cool, but still. But I also loved how some of the villains got to be redeemed. Tombstone, a character who we fought in the first game as a boss fight, it was a side mission, but still, is now redeemed, and we even save him, and that was really cool. Mysterio, despite the fact that we sadly never get to fight him when he's evil, is redeemed. And like I said, I was talking about Miles before, but Martin Lee's part of the story was also great. I love that he was also redeemed, which him and Miles' stories connect very well. I just think all that was so cool. Since we're talking about the story, let's talk about the sequence where we get to be Venom, because that was really cool and honestly kind of unexpected. You know, everybody was like, I want playable Venom, I want playable Venom. Me personally, I was like, yeah, playable Venom would be awesome, but I don't want that if it's gonna I don't want them to do that just because of a story, if you know. Oh, I guess we're chasing this car. I don't want them to go against anything story just so we can play as Venom. So I was like, I don't really... if we go this whole game without playing as Venom, I won't be angry. I mean, it'd be super cool, but still. And yeah, they were able to do it in a way that actually fit the story. It was great. Also, when it comes to the ending of the game, I thought the ending was pretty good. So first things first... also, I have to say, I kind of missed this being a quick time event, but you know, whatever. Something I kind of want to mention about the ending, first things first, is that when it comes to Venom boss fight, when it comes to the Venom boss fight, it was cool and all, but I was very disappointed that we didn't get a fight between the two Spider-Man and Venom, the three of them. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, we got to fight him as both Peter and Miles. Yeah, we got a quick time event where both Spider-Man were beating on him, which was awesome. But we never got what I was hoping we'd get out of the finale. That being, while we play as one Spider-Man, the other one is also fighting Venom at the exact same time. Kind of like what they do in the crime. So, like, if you know, in the crimes, when you're fighting crime as, say, Peter, Miles will join the fight and also take out some of the criminals. I wish they did that, but instead of random criminals, it was a boss fight. That would have been so cool, especially for the finale, especially because building up to the game, the biggest thing that they were on was like, oh, Venom is such a big threat that no one Spider-Man can do this alone. They both have to have help from the other. But really, they both did a good job at fighting him on their own. So I kind of wish that we would have got that. I was kind of hoping for that. They didn't do that, which, I mean, okay. Kind of disappointing, but it doesn't ruin the whole game. Now we get to the actual ending of the game. So, now we get to the actual ending of the game. I actually thought it was surprisingly really good and kind of emotional, too. So, at the end of the game, still major spoilers here, where we see Peter start up a smaller Emily May Foundation in his garage, and he kind of passes the torch off to Miles. That way he can take some time to do EMF, as well as maybe hopefully start a family with MJ. Mayday Parker. Sorry, something in my throat. And I just thought I was doing so well. It's so weird because I wasn't expecting to get emotional in this game. The first game, not gonna lie to you, made me kind of emotional, especially that ending with Aunt May was just, man, so emotional. But I was like, going into this game, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get emotional during this game, right? Because they're not killing off Aunt May. They already did that, so I can't get emotional. Yeah, I got emotional. Seeing him do the Emily May Foundation in memory of both Emily Osborn, Aunt May, and now Harry Osborn was just so well done, I think. And surprisingly emotional. I really enjoyed that. And something I do want to mention is that there's some controversy, it seems like, with Miles Morales possibly being the main Insomniac Spider-Man moving forward. Here's my thoughts on it. I am half okay with it if they do it well, which I'm trusting Insomniac after 3 great Spidey games to do it well. But I'm okay. What I think they should probably do, because of the fact that they kind of made him like retired-ish, is have him be kind of like half-retired, where he lets Miles do most of the Spidey work. However, he still joins in every now and then whenever he has the time to. Until Marvel's Spider-Man 3, where I think they should have the main villain be Green Goblin, have him be such a huge threat that Miles can't do it alone, forcing Peter to come out of his half retirement and face the Green Goblin, and have the entire third game be mostly about Peter Parker, but still have some Miles story, kind of like this game. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see what the future holds, I guess. Now, something I do, another thing I want to talk about is some of the side missions. Because the side missions in this game are actually really cool, for the most part. I remember, like, the first game, the side missions were okay. There were some great ones, like Tombstone, and there were some not so great ones, like the research stations. I think most of the side missions in this one were really cool. They had good stories, they had likable characters. Some of my favorites included finding Grandpa, and I forget the name of it, but the one in Queens where this older lady thinks there's a monster and turns out to be one of Kraven's robot dogs, and then we have the robot dog become her pet. I love that mission. It was so good. And then obviously the Howard mission was just so emotional, surprisingly. I was not expecting that, and it was just really good. Also, the open world was I enjoyed the open world. Did we need it? I'm not sure, but I've been wanting to play in Queens ever since I've been playing Spidey games, so the fact that we finally got that is awesome. But the one thing we do need, that I hope they add an update, they might, I'm not so sure. We need a day and night cycle. I want them to make it so we have the ability to change it from day to night and change the weather, like thunderstorms, pouring rain, light rain. So I hope we get that in the future. That, to me, that is the biggest disappointment so far, but they could add it in the future update, because they are adding New Game Plus, Mission Replay. I hope they add that with it, because if not, that'd be super disappointing. So yeah, hopefully they add that. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now to talk about the gameplay a little. First of all, the web swinging in this game is great. The web swinging have been awesome in these games, and they just keep making the web swinging better and better. The web swinging was awesome in the first game. The web swing Miles Morales was even better, and in this game, the web swinging is even better, which I did not think was possible, but they did it. And they even have this really cool option with swing assist and fall damage, which my plan is, for my first gameplay, I think I did leave the swing assist on, but the fall damage on as well. And for my second playthrough, whenever New Game Plus ever comes out, because I do plan on replaying through the story, I'm doing the whole story with zero swing assist. And I did try zero swing assist in free roam a little, and it's really cool. So I think it's awesome that you get the option to have both swing assist on, off, and fall damage on and off. That way you can have people just swinging through with fun, or have people have it be a bit more complicated and a bit more realistic. Like for me, my first gameplay, I just wanted to focus on the story, so I only had fall damage on, and I had swing assist off. Except for free play, I had it on a couple times. And then for my second playthrough of the game, already knowing what's going to happen, I'm going to have it on. So that's really cool that they had that. I think that's awesome. Speaking of the traversal, something I was not expecting to like were the web wings. But I was kind of like, wow, would I really want to use the web wings when I can web swing? Yeah, the web wings are awesome. And these wind tunnels, let's do this one right here. Okay, that was anticlimactic. That ended too soon. But yeah, they were really helpful and fun, so I'm glad they incorporated it into the game. Speaking of things I wasn't sure I was going to like, but I actually found myself really enjoying, were the spider arms that Pete has in this game. I'm actually kind of surprised of how much I like the iron arms. I like the way they were used. I like that they weren't permanent and they were kind of like a temporary thing that had a charge. Although I do wish it had more of a story impact, because of the fact that the first game had so much to do with him and Doc Ock and their relationship and building those arms together. Kind of wish there was a bit more of a story with that than there was. It was kind of just there. But it was still really cool. And I found myself liking the iron arms way more than I thought. And the entire combat was really cool. Whether it's Peter and Miles, they feel so different while also being so much fun, both of them. So it was just awesome. I have to say, I feel like there could be more stealth in this game than there was. Not that it's a bad thing that makes the game worse or anything, but as someone who loves stealth, especially in the Arkham games, in Spidey games, I wish there was a bit more stealth in the game, but that's okay. Hopefully the next game there's more stealth implemented into the game. Also, the load times are just crazy good. So, like, crazy good. And I also like how they use the adaptive triggers in this game, too. I think that's cool. Alright, I know I've been talking for a while. I do want to slightly talk about, again, major spoilers for those end credit scenes. Because, like, we did have a mid-credit scene with Norman going to Otto being like, yo, do you know the identity of these spider people? Otto's like, if I did, I wouldn't want to tell you. He's writing something. Norman's like, what are you writing? And Otto's like, the final chapter. So one, we know that Otto knows Peter Parker is the Red Spider-Man, but he doesn't know who the other Spider-Man is. So, at least I don't think we do, because he's never met Miles. So unlike Harry, who was able to piece it together that Miles was the other Spider-Man, due to the fact that, you know, him and Miles he's met Miles and he knows that him and Pete do a lot together. How would Otto know who Miles is? He's never met Miles, he knows nothing about Miles. That was all while he was in prison, unless he's been somehow spying on them, which is possible. But also, the final chapter. Okay, first of all, that's gotta be the title of the next game. Marvel Spider-Man 3, the final chapter should be the next game title. Very curious what they're gonna do with it. Like I said, I think Green Goblin should be the main villain of that game, and Peter Parker should have a big focus in that game. But I'm really excited to see what Insomniac has for us next in the story, in the final chapter. And then that final end credit scene that not only makes Miles and Haley official, but also introduces us to a new character. Rio Morales is now dating someone new, Albert Moon, and he introduces us to his daughter, Cindy Moon, who, if you don't know who Cindy Moon is, in the comic books, she's another spider person, that being Silk. Now, I know some people are I know there are some people disappointed. They're like, oh, we wanted Gwen Stacy, we wanted Spider-Gwen. I'm kind of, as much as I want to see Insomniac's take on Gwen Stacy, just because I think she's a great character, whether she is Spider-Gwen or just Peter Parker's girlfriend, I think both versions of the character are great. And as much as I would like to see Insomniac's version of Gwen, I'm kind of glad they're not doing Spider-Gwen, just because of the fact that we already have Spider-Gwen in the Spider-Verse movies, and we don't have anything outside of comic books with Silk, so I think this is a cool thing to do. And it'd be awesome if they had Miles train Silk as like a full circle moment because Peter trained Miles. It would just be an awesome thing. Now, also, I do want to mention though with Gwen, I remember a while back, everybody was like, oh yeah, Gwen's probably dead, and Sonic was like, who says she's dead in our universe? If we don't ever see Gwen in this universe, then I'm sorry, and Sonic, my headcanon's gonna already think that she's dead. I mean, yeah, Green Goblin doesn't exist, so technically it'd be different, but, you know, it's still very possible that they were a thing, because he's been Spider-Man for 10 years at the time of Spider-Man 2. So, you know, we'll have to see what the future holds. But yeah, I feel like I've been talking for a while, but this game is just so awesome. It's amazing. It's spectacular. But yeah, what did you guys think of this game? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? I'm still undecided as to if I prefer the first game or this game, just because I think they're both really good. Obviously, this one has better gameplay because, I mean, if gameplay can't get worse, right? I mean, it can. But if it does, then that's just crazy. But the story of both games is really good, so I have a hard time deciding which one's the best one. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. If you like this video, please hit like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Maybe I'll do more game reviews, hopefully, in the future, possibly. And then I have a bunch of movie and TV reviews you can check out as well. I also would like to do future videos on Spider-Man 2, like maybe a suits ranking and stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see. Also, I did stream this game, so you can check out my actual reaction to the story, or maybe it will help you if you're stuck on any parts of the game. But yeah, check those out. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.